It's TWALE TV. Welcome to TWALE TV Sports, Harry Kane and Daniel Levy. This is not going to end well. I can tell you, Tottenham fans, very clearly, because look at the possible scenarios, okay? Daniel Levy will never let Harry Kane go for free next season. Harry Kane will not let Daniel Levy push him to go to Europe if he wants to stay in the Premier League, obviously to break that Alan Shearer's record and to remain, one of the best strikers of Premier League, in the Premier League history, rather. So it's obvious and it's known, is the best kept, it's the worst kept secret, I should say, that Harry Kane wanted to stay in the Premier League. So Daniel Levy, knowing this, is going to push hard. He's a hard bargainer, we all know that. But on this occasion, can he really be a hard bargainer? Is he the one in charge? No, not really. Mr. Levy, you're not in charge. Harry is in charge because Harry has been denied his dream move to Manchester City and he hasn't signed an extension to his contract. For over a season, they've been trying to negotiate. He's not doing it. Why? Because he knows he's got the bargaining power over Levy now. He knows Levy will not let him go for free, and he knows there are certain amount of money that you can call for. You can't just put a number on the person because he's the best striker in the Premier League, obviously before the arrival of Haaland. You cannot just say you need 100 million. It's not possible. In my view, Harry is probably, Daniel Levy will get close to about 60 million because it's Harry. You will hardly get up to that amount of money on a striker who's 30 years old, whose contract is got less than 12 months to go before he becomes a free agent. So how this is going to end, I would love to see. If Daniel Levy refuses, if he decides to surprise everybody and refuse to sell, that means Harry will go for free next season. That means Harry will be a disgruntled player for good 1 year. It's probably going to cause more damage than repair because you have to let Harry go. If he wants to go to Man U or maybe Chelsea, you're welcome, Harry. Please change your mind. Don't go to Ten Hag. Come to Pochettino, your ex-boss. I would love Harry at Chelsea, to be honest. Having Pochettino there is good enough for me that we're going to be stable. But to have Harry, oh my, that will put us in a good position, for contention of the titleship. And I can't see that happening, really. Harry won't come to Chelsea. I think he would rather go far away. So it's obvious he wants to go to Man U, or Man U are interested in him. Whichever way this ends, it's not going to be good news for you Tottenham fans, obviously. If he stays, it's not good news. If he goes, it's not good news. Daniel Levy is the one who's probably going to have egg on his face at the end of the day because the type of power that he possesses, that he uses, he can't use it on Harry with 9 months left on his contract. It's been rumored that he would never allow Harry to go to any rival or to go to any Premier League club. Excuse me, that's not possible unless you're ready to risk him going on a free. Because if Harry stays till next year, he'll be 31. Harry at 31 can still deliver for another 3 years. Harry is the kind of player that can play until his 34th, 35th year because he looked after himself. He's one of those players who is not a big-time Charlie, nightclubbing every other night or drinking and all that. He's a family guy, very dedicated professional. So if Harry leaves next year, he can still give 3 good years to a top-flight competition, top-class football. So I'm going to wait. I just love the drama. The more problem Tottenham have, the happier for Chelsea fans, obviously. But jokes apart, this is going on for too long. Tottenham is like a boat, trying to survive a storm, more or less trying to sink. And I can't see them sinking because Daniel Levy is still in charge. But to my surprise, some Tottenham fans are now, raising banners. Levy must go, Levy must go. I never thought I would see that in a Tottenham stadium. Seriously. And people are now starting to realize that Levy is becoming... If you remember before Arsene Wenger left Arsenal, you would never think Arsenal fans would go against Wenger on anything. He's such a icon, like a real mini god. But when push comes to shoves, Arsenal fans were screaming. Say, hey, prof, as they used to refer to him, then professor, you have to go. He didn't want to spend big, and he's content with just qualifying for Champions League every year, and he did that for 16 years consecutively. Making top four. But that wasn't good enough for Arsenal fans. They wanted trophy, and Wenger left amicably. And I can't see Daniel Levy, because Daniel Levy is getting to that phrase as well. That's kind of category of an old soldier who doesn't understand time has moved on, time has changed. Mr. Levy has to understand, for Tottenham to achieve that pinnacle, that top level, he has to spend, and he's not a spender. He has to emulate the big spenders. If you don't emulate them, you can't win it, because they are still there. If Manchester City stops spending, Man U will keep spending. If Man U stops spending, Chelsea will keep spending. So if you are not part of the spending club, you are never going to win this league. End of story. Let's move on. Mourinho is having a dig at Tottenham again. It's all about Tottenham tonight. Tottenham fans, don't worry. You deserve it. Mourinho is having a dig at Tottenham again, saying Tottenham is the only club I don't have emotions for, because they didn't let me win final for them. Roma allowed me to win final for them last year, and he's in another final. Europa, he won the Europa Conference, the first manager to win all the European stages. He's won everything European competition, Champions League, Europa. He won Europa for Man U. Europa was the missing jigsaw in Man U's trophy cabinet. He won it for them. I don't know why people still don't rate Mourinho. This is a trophy man. Trust me. When I said yesterday that the only skeptical thing about Pochettino is that he's never won anything in the Premier League. You cannot get to a final and not win it. If you don't win it, I mean, you must have won something. So Pochettino, for me, I've seen him play final against Liverpool Champions League. And, if he was a little bit more pragmatic, he could have beaten Liverpool. And he made some, bad decisions before the final, removing Lucas Moura, playing Harry Kane, who's been injured for some time. But he felt, oh, it's final, Harry. Half Harry is better than, Lucas Moura, who took you to the final. Anyway, long story. They lost that final on for a couple of bad decisions. Playing Harry, not being pragmatic enough. He was going gung-ho, slinging with Liverpool, and, he hasn't got the depth of Liverpool then. But he was going all-out war with them, and, you don't play final like that, okay? You have to think of the next 10 years, next 20 years. You want to look at the trophy. You want to look at the history. You want to look at your CV that you won it. So you have to be cautious. Finals don't come every year or every time. So that's the difference between managers like Mourinho and Pochettino. So we will leave him. Let's see. I like him. He's the best candidate for us at the moment. But he needs to prove that he can win things. There's a big difference if you haven't won. So Pochettino, I hope he's going to make the best use of Chelsea's provision, all the talents, all the money, and do something. So back to Daniel Levy and Tottenham. I don't think I've forgotten. Tottenham, your mess is getting messier. So Mr. Levy is probably going to go to war with Harry. You still haven't got a manager. You are proclaiming to not want Nagelsmann. Nagelsmann said he turned you down. Every manager you've gone for, I've said no to you. Whoever you're talking to right now, Mr. Daniel Levy, we would love to know. Fans would love to know. Tottenham fans would love to know. We neutrals would love to know, because Tottenham is a big club. And unfortunately, the mess they are going through could have been avoided. Just like the mess Chelsea is going through could have been avoided. And we wish... Do I really want to say that? That I wish Tottenham the best? Sorry, Tottenham. We're enjoying your pain.